So this is just a quick video on how to stick eyelids or eyebrows to your headlights. If you've tried it and yours keep coming off, hopefully this will help. So annoyingly, what I'd done a few days ago is I sprayed the entire car in like a graphene coating, which is semi-permanent, a bit like a ceramic coating, and that included the headlights, which was a pretty low IQ move because it means that the tape I've got won't bond to the headlight because of the graphene coating. So you're going to want to do this anyway, but imagine your headlight doesn't have a ceramic coating on it. You're going to want some rubbing alcohol, IPA, and then just use a cloth to like saturate it in the cloth and just rub along the mating surface to get it all as clean as possible. That applies to the headlight and the underside of the eyebrow that's going to go on. I'm taking it a step further. I'm using a magic eraser to scrub off the graphene coating because it's almost like a clear coat, like there's no other way to get it off. Don't do this if your headlights are in good condition, because a magic eraser is the equivalent of around 3000 grit sandpaper, which you don't want to be doing on your headlights. But on mine, you might be able to see the clear coat is kind of wearing out anyway. This is all faded from sun damage, UV. You can see along the bottom here as well. In the summer, I've already done a video on clear coating headlights on my last car. In the summer, I'm going to do the same thing. Just sand it back with probably 600 grit, work up to about 1500, and then just spray some 2K clear coat on, and they'll be good as new for the duration of the vehicle's life. But I can't be bothered to do that at the minute because they're not in terrible shape, as you can see. There's just, if you get up close, you can see it's kind of faded. So I don't care if I mar this mating surface with a magic eraser. It doesn't matter because they're in bad condition anyway. But I'm just doing it to get the graphene coating off. So I'll crack on and then I'll explain the next step. Once you're confident it's clean, just grab a second clean microfiber with a bit more IPA and just wipe the surface again. Next, you want to do the same to the underside of your eyebrow. These were like 20 quid from AliExpress, and I'm really impressed with the quality of them. They're like a 3D carbon fiber effect. I mean, look at that. Super glossy as well. So yeah, just clean all this underside with IPA and a rag. I don't need to show myself doing that. It's pretty self-explanatory. And as you can see on this cloth, stuff is coming off. I guess it's like oils and stuff from the factory, because these are brand new. But you want to get this, whatever it is, off. I'd imagine it's just sort of plastic oils or whatever residue left from the manufacturing process, but you want this as clean as possible. So next you want to cover the underside with your tape. This came with tape, but it looked like a 3M knockoff, so I bought proper tape. This stuff, it's more heavy duty than the grey stuff they do. This stuff is black, but it takes a long time to cure. I think it's like 24 hours for full curing time. So I'm going to stick it essentially everywhere to eliminate the risk of wind getting underneath and pulling them off. It's up to you how you stick it down. You could just do a few strips, but I'm going to essentially cover the entire thing to ensure the best bond. And it will still be removable with like fishing wire and hot water and degreaser, so it's not permanent. So you should end up with something like this. Yeah. Any areas where it's gone slightly over the edge, it doesn't matter, because once they're installed, if there's any tape showing, we can just go around it with a tiny flathead screwdriver and push it under, or go around with a Stanley knife and cut any excess off. So The next step is to apply some heat. I've got a little fan heater here. You want to get these warm, not hot. If it's to the point where they're too hot to touch, you kind of fucked up. But the aim is to get the glue in the tape to kind of seep out into all the little crevices in the plastic. Because on a microscopic level, it would be like the Grand Canyon, like these, like the texture of this plastic you can see here. So we want the glue to melt into those grooves slightly and make the tape more tacky. And once it's warmed up, we're just going to apply it. You only really get one shot at lining it up. Thankfully with these, they're pretty self-explanatory in how they align. You can't really mess it up, to be fair. It can only really go in one place. So yeah, get it hot, peel all the tape off, stick it on, and then we're just going to press it in place for about 5 minutes. So I can't really show myself doing that because I don't have 3 hands, but that's what I'm going to do. Now this is warm and I can feel the tape is a lot more kind of squidgy and tacky. So just go around it and push it in, like push it down to get a really good bond. So now grab some tweezers and start peeling the backing off. I'm warming the headlight at the same time, may as well. Don't let it get too hot. I mean, I've used some masking tape to kind of hold it down, but I'm not going to lie, that felt so tacky that I don't think I needed to do that at all. It just, that is fucking stuck. Now, the heat helps so much. So, I'm going to add a little bit just here, because the last time I tried to install them with the supplied tape, it wanted to pop up here, because it's not like a perfect fit. It's Chinese, what do you expect? So I'm just going to wrap a bit around here and then leave that to cool and cure. And the other benefit of heating the eyelid like this is it makes the plastic itself a bit more malleable. So if it isn't a completely perfect fit, by heating the plastic you can kind of bend it a little bit into shape. Because the last time this bit stuck down fine, but the edge popped off and this bit kind of popped up, hence the tape in those areas. But that feels absolutely solid. But to be safe, I'm using the tape and I'm gonna let it cure in a warm environment for, let's have a look, does it say on here? Yeah, do not apply weight to the attachment until at least 24 hours. I think on Amazon it said it reaches 50% bondage after half an hour, but it takes a full 24 hours to reach 100% bondage. I'm not going to leave this in the house for 24 hours because I've got work tomorrow. It's 12 o'clock midday now. I'm going to put them back on the car at around 5 or 6-ish. That should be good enough, to be honest. And there we go. Nothing to do now but wait. While you're waiting, now would be a good time if your headlights suffer from condensation. Just pop this back panel off. Every car is going to have one. And you can set it by the radiator or put it in the airing cupboard, or by your fan heater, and just let it air out, get all the water out of the lights. Obviously don't mess about with it too much because you don't want to disturb the bond, but yeah, it's something you can do. I think I'm going to do that because I noticed a tiny bit of condensation when I jet washed the car the other day. So I'm also going to lubricate the manual adjustments for the height. They tend to seize up on these headlights, so I'm just going to try and free them up a bit, but not touch it too much. But yeah, that's essentially it. Again, like I said, this is probably not really necessary. because as soon as I stuck it down, I was like, whoa. When I was aligning it, I actually caught this edge on the light, and only a tiny section stuck on, and even that was difficult to pull off. So it's permanent in the sense that it's not going to be easy to get them off, I don't think, but you will be able to get them off without destroying the clear coat. You might just need to do the same thing I do with like body badges, pour really hot water all over it to kind of loosen up the glue, and then get some dental floss or fishing line, just catch it underneath and start like a sawing motion all the way along, and it should come off that way. And then just use some Goo Gone or IPA, whatever, some kind of really strong degreaser to get all the residue off the lights. But yeah, that's essentially it. I'll throw on a little clip at the end once these have set and I've put them back on the car and show you how they look. So hope this helps.